And we're rolling.
All right, we're back with Wes Piatt. So, Wes, you just opened up a box in Gilroy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we moved from San Luis Obispo, so I was in SoCal Regional last year. My wife is originally from the Gilroy area, so we planned on moving up there pretty much the whole time when we decided to have a family, but we had an opportunity to open a gym, so made the leap a little early and opened up our box about 7 months ago.
What's the name of the box?
Range CrossFit.
Great. And you're in Gilroy, California?
Yep.
All right. So tell us a little bit. We're here in Big Sur at the inov-8 athlete. Tell us how you joined up with the inov-8 team.
It was pretty organic. I just wore inov-8s, and one of my other sponsors, actually PR Cave, Jason Janke, was like, "Why aren't you sponsored by them?" And I said, "I don't know. I just wear their shoes and love them." And he said, "Okay, well, actually, I know some people and talked to them and he hooked me up with them." And now I'm here at this awesome athlete retreat.
So what's it mean to be an inov-8 sponsored athlete? Do you work with them on product development? Do they support you at events? What's it mean?
Yeah, so it's pretty incredible. We actually just had a rundown yesterday with their team about, they call themselves an athlete-run tribe, and so they're really unique in the fact that they actually really give a crap, I guess, about what the athletes have to say about the products.
It's kind of unique, isn't it?
Yeah, no, seriously, though, it really is. Honestly, if you look at the way most companies are built, it's let me build a product I think that you like, and then find a way to promote it so that you like it. And that's usually putting them on the feet of somebody who's very popular, and then everybody wants to wear them because they're popular. And then 90% of people put them on their feet, and they're like, these things suck, but so-and-so wears them, so I'm going to keep wearing them. You know what I mean? inov-8's been completely the opposite, where they say, hey, we have this prototype, try it out, let us know what you think, beat it to crap, and then let's make it better before we release it, because we want the people who are actually using these shoes, using these pairs of pants, these t-shirts, jackets, etc. The guys that are doing 100-mile races, the ultra guys and the CrossFitters that are going to beat these things to crap, and let them know, like, hey, no, this sucks and this doesn't, and you should do this and this, and then they make a shoe or a product that people actually are going to wear, not are going to want to wear because so-and-so.
So what's some of the cool stuff, or one or two cool things you saw this weekend, or kind of gave some tips on product development that you said, here's the way I use this shoe or this piece of apparel? Yeah,
so a great example is yesterday we went on a little trail run, and they gave us a trail Crocs.
Little for you or little for the ultra?
It was little. It was little for anybody, but it was on a trail, which is something I don't do very often, and the shoe was made for a trail, basically. So it had a bigger cleat on the bottom. It was a little bit more rugged, I guess. But what I ended up doing when I was talking to the shoe guys, I was saying, what's great about this shoe is the upper part of it. The toe box is amazing. The way it feels is everything. It's like if you were to take the F195 bottom and put it on this shoe, that's a shoe that I would wear. You know what I mean? And so they looked at it and they said, great, awesome, let's try it. We'll send you a pair and see what you like about them, and then let's go from there. You know what I mean?
It's like the old trail run back in Aroma, so you might be using that shoe sometime.
Exactly. Yeah. Seriously.
So turn it quickly to the games. So you went to the games last year, right?
Yes.
All right. Is that your first games?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about it. What was it like in your first games? Because a lot of times we talk to folks who've been to their first games and their second games. The first one, wow, overwhelming.
Yeah, it was definitely overwhelming for sure, 100%. I definitely learned some things about myself as a competitor, which was great. I was definitely going into it with my wrong mindset as far as nutrition goes, and eating as far as the competition as opposed to what you want to do for general health. You know what I mean? And so actually, after the first day that we were there, I kind of bombed and lost all my baggage in the stores and just felt like absolute dog crap.
What were you eating or not eating?
Strict paleo, like trying to, be as clean as possible, broccoli and all this stuff, and it just wasn't enough. And what it took was one of my friends said, here, eat these Sour Patch Kids. And I ate 2 boxes of Sour Patch Kids and felt amazing, and I was like, that's it.
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, well, there's the science test right there. You know what I mean? You can't eat this way and expect yourself to perform at these levels. And so that helped me a ton going into the last 2 days, and then also this whole year as far as nutrition.
Sour Patch Kids every day?
At least once a week, between 8 and 10 on Saturdays, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. So what will be your mental approach this year going into the game? Now you're in a new region, but also now you've got one under your belt. Going forward this year, how have you adjusted your training and your mental approach?
I hired a coach this year. So I mainly did that because of us opening the box and moving. I also got hired onto the level 1 staff with headquarters, so I'm traveling every weekend as well. It was one less thing that I had to think about as far as what am I supposed to do today? Am I missing out on stuff? Am I not hitting things I should be hitting or whatever? So that's helped a lot, and also the volume has gone up a ton. Working out by myself though as well, it's been rough because I own my own gym. I train in the morning and I train at night, and I try to somehow work out in between these times that I'm training classes. So I'm I've gotten up to NorCal a couple times to work out with Pat, but usually it's me training by myself. So it's trying to find the balance of being a coach, being an HQ level 1 trainer, being a box owner, and then also still competing as well.
Is your coach programming for you, or also there physically watching?
It's just a remote program.
Okay.
Brian Borstein out of CrossFit Pacific Beach.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Let's switch back now to sort of everyday CrossFit. Because with the growth of the sport, there's so many new CrossFitters coming to the sport these days. A lot of coaches we talk to say they can't just look at the elite level programming and expect to emulate that. You know, the new marathoners don't go in and look at the Ethiopian training program and say that's what I'm going to do because they'll break in a week.
Yep.
So, what advice do you have for new athletes and their coaches who are coming into the sport?
I think there's 2 different categories. You get people who come in and they're like, the reason why they want to start CrossFit is they want to start competing, and you have to kind of let them know that you can't just do that. You've got to get some CrossFit under your belt, and we have to let them understand that there's a huge difference between the sport of CrossFit, what they probably saw on ESPN or what they see on the internet, as opposed to CrossFit as a methodology. And so we need to get people to fall in love with CrossFit first, the community aspect of it. One workout a day, they're going out on weekends with the friends still, and you know what I mean, and falling in love with that part of it first before we start adding in. You're going to do strength before you do your workout, and then you're going to do an Olympic lift, and then you're going to do some metcon after that, and then whatever, and you end up just breaking people, and they end up not loving CrossFit, or they end up getting injured. You know what I mean? And then you've got these people in place like, yeah, I used to do CrossFit, but I got hurt, and blah blah blah. I'm like, how long have you been doing CrossFit? They're like, oh, 4 weeks. And you're like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you should have still been getting in. You should have just came out of your on-ramp class. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think it's getting people to slow down a little bit more and fall in love. Like when I started CrossFit, I started doing CrossFit because I was like, this shit is gnarly. Like, people are doing like Navy SEALs type crazy stuff, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to consider myself, like fit as humanly possible. Not necessarily I was doing it because I wanted to compete or because I wanted to do it. I just wanted to push my limits, and I think that you can do that with one workout a day. You can do that by just doing 5 sets of 2 back squats in one day and nothing else.
What was your athletic background prior to CrossFit?
It was just baseball and football in high school, and that was it. And I joined the military after high school. So.
And then you said there were 2 things. You said when we're talking about new CrossFitters coming in and their coaches, you said one was about people who come in and just say CrossFit as a sport. They want to compete right away, and they want to make it fun in the beginning. They kind of learn about it. What was the second thing?
And then I would say it's just getting them to kind of fall in love with CrossFit. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
As far as so just getting them to I guess understand that it's like the community side. Like you don't need to be in a competitor's class right away or something like that, but you need to fall in love with doing one workout a day and slapping hands with people and working out next to your 80-year-old grandma as well as your best friend and stuff like that, and then and just not looking at CrossFit as a sport. It's supposed to be a lifestyle. It's supposed to be something that's fun. You're supposed to go out on the weekends with the guys in the box and have a good time. I think we're slowly getting far away from that, and I want people to come back to what CrossFit was, where, like I said, like you come in the box, it's 5 sets of 2 back squat, and then see you later. You know what I mean? Push yourself to your limit on your back squat, and then go home and recover and have a good time and come back and do it again. You have to program 50,000 things for them to do in a day in order for them to feel like they accomplished something.
Do you think there's a difference between men and women in that some coaches have talked about doing the way men, coaching men and women, like they get that attitude of the ultra competitive when they first walk in?
I wouldn't say there's a difference between men and women. I would say that there's a difference between every single individual person and the way that they're going to respond to coaching. That's what makes a good coach. You know what I mean? It's knowing that you have a class of 20 people and that Yolanta is not gonna respond the same way as Bettina is going to respond to, Yolanta likes to be pushed and likes to be, come on, let's get going. You pick up the kettlebell, you can keep going, and Bettina needs to be told, hey, you're doing a great job, but I need you to kind of slow down a little bit and do this, etc. Jesus is in the corner and he's freaking screaming his head off, you know what I mean? Like, that's what he wants, and I think that's what makes a good coach.
How do you know who responds best to which? Do you just scream everybody when you first walk in?
No, that comes in, with you getting to know your athlete, you know what I mean? I think that's what makes a good box is that the coach knows every single person in that box. They know exactly how that person's attitude is, their ability levels, their injuries, their surgeries, their whatever. You know what I mean? It's and so I don't see it as a gender thing necessarily, as more of a individual specific person. You need to know exactly what's going to make that person tick, and you need to know what issues they have. Do they have trouble with the nutrition? Do they have trouble with their job? Is there is their home life doing this or whatever else? And those are the things that are going to affect what happens inside the box, not necessarily a certain program. 23 hours outside the box, 1 hour inside the box. That's going to affect a lot more.
Now it goes back to your point before about having fall in love with the community aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you really care about your box, you're not just there to get as many members as possible, get a big place, and make as much money as possible. You know everybody's first and last name. You know what they do for a job. You know how many kids they have, and that transfers into knowing how to coach them, knowing how to push them, knowing when to back off and when not to, and how was your weekend? You seem upset when you came in today. Let's get you to relax a little bit today, as opposed to trying to push this person past. You should know those things.
So we got one last question. It's a doozy. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, you sure? You sweating a little already?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine the zombie apocalypse is coming tomorrow. What's your last meal on Earth?
Oh, man.
See? Now you go. You're stumped.
Frozen yogurt for sure.
Froyo.
Yeah, frozen yogurt.
Wow.
With
first time Froyo answer.
Yeah, it would be classic vanilla frozen yogurt with brownie bites in the bottom.
Do you have a specific brand you like?
So there's this place called Bally's in San Luis Obispo, where I'm from, that is the best frozen yogurt in the world. There's other places that are better, or that are close to it, but not better than it. But it would definitely be frozen yogurt with some brownies and probably some Oreos in it.
Okay. No savory, just straight up sweet.
Yeah.
Just take dessert.
Sour Patch Kids, man.
Yeah. There you go. Sour Patch Kids and Froyo.
Yeah, let me get sponsored by Sour Patch Kids and then we'll talk. Yeah.
Just like the way Skittles for Beast Mode, right?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
super. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.